Well, that's it. We are done with our story. We've edited it, we've put B-roll in, we've color corrected it, we've adjusted the audio, everything sounds good, everything looks good. So what do we do now? It's time to export it. So one thing you must do before you export it is actually watch the whole story back. Now this is an easy step to pass because you know it's good, you've kind of scrubbed through it a lot and you're familiar with it, so it's easy to not want to watch it back before you export it, but watch it back. It's going to take you, what, Lee's story is going to be 6 to 8 minutes long. Stories are typically in that range, so take the 8 minutes and watch your story back in Premiere. So once you watch it back, pay attention to every clip, make sure you got color correction on every clip, make sure the right audio is playing, that you've muted all the audio except for your mastered audio and your final music, and now you're ready to export. What settings do you use? Now, here's what I like to use in Premiere. They've got there's a few presets you can start with. I typically go Apple ProRes or H.264. Now here's some things to consider on which codec you're going to use. Let's say you don't have a crazy fast computer, or you're not on a Mac. I don't know how ProRes does on a Mac. I only use Mac, so I don't know what it's going to do on a PC. But I use ProRes or H.264. Now if your computer's maybe older and a little slower, you probably want to use Apple ProRes because it takes less processing power to decode it because it's not as compressed. Like your files are going to be larger with Apple ProRes, and your files are going to be smaller with H.264 because it takes more processing power to encode and uncode it for your computer to play back. So if your computer's fine, do H.264. And there's in your export tab in Premiere, you can scroll down under the format deal here, hit H.264, and you can go all the way down to the bottom. These are always pretty good to go to the Vimeo 1080p HD or YouTube 1080p HD. Those are always going to be a pretty good quality for you. And that's all you do. Hit export and you're done. Almost. Before you send it off to where it needs to go, open it up and watch it back. Now, this is this is always just as easy to skip as it is the first time before you export it because you've seen it, you already watched it back once, but stuff happens. Sometimes there'll be a glitch because of a plugin or the audio you didn't have the right audio selected. It's going to do something weird. So just watch it back before you send it to where it needs to go, because the last thing that you want to do on a Sunday morning or on a Friday night after you've sent the files is to go back up to your office to re-export the video because you thought you had the right button pressed or you thought it was perfect and you didn't watch it back, and now you've got to fix it because something was wrong. So watch it back and save yourself a lot of time.